Hey everyone, welcome back to Noble Farms. Today we're in the sawmill.
You're watching the Noble Farms YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Thanks for watching.
This is the shed we put together last year and moved our mill into it. This is where we mill all the lumber that we cut from off the farm there, off the woods around us. Bring them in here. Have the log bed up here going into the mill. Getting ready to put a log onto the mill here now and saw a few logs. So yeah, it's a great little setup. We load in there with the tractor. Once the lumber is all sawed off the mill, goes over to the table, and all the slabs will be cut up too as well. We use the once cut slabs into fence boards for around the fields, out around where the sheep are and the cows. So we'll band these bundles, lift them out of the crate we built, and put them aside. And when we do fencing in the summertime, that's what we use. Seems to work really well. The goats will eat the bark off it, so we don't have to worry about the bark staying on it and getting soaked. They'll chew that right up. So yeah, we're going to fire up the mill here now and saw some lumber. It's going to be a bit noisy. We'll try to block out as much noise as we can so you guys can see exactly what it is we do. It's a great little sawmill. It's a Woodland Mills 126. We did have a 122 earlier, and we wore that one out. So we sawed quite a bit of lumber on that. It worked really well, did very well for us. So we just jumped up one more size. And this has been working great too as well. I think we're on towards our second tractor trailer load of logs, so like probably around 25 core of logs we've after sawing with this mill. We had an old bus chassis here kicking around the farm, so we just incorporated it into the mill and poured a cement pad here to keep it all nice and level, but it sure keeps it out of the elements here and hopefully lasts us a long time. So, all right, we'll get to it and saw some of these logs. So we're just going to lift up this end of the log here. And we just pretty much eyeball it. I do take a measuring tape sometimes and we can measure it off like this. 13 inches. I'm a little high in the front, so we'll bring it back down a little bit. That should be good. So we'll take our first slab off. So with the first one taken off, we usually just skim the bark, and that's where we get our first 1 inch thick board for the fencing. So that's the one we're going to take right now. So she already knows what that one is for. She's laying it on the table over there for to cut that up into the fence boards right here. So we have a marker on the table. We have a generator in here, and she'll pack that onto the pile. There you have it. Simple, easy, just the way we like it. And all the little ends comes off that is going into the, we have a big tote bag on the wall. That tote bag will hold all the little ends for firewood. So that's where we get all the firewood that we create from the slab stuff. Just going to get a quick measurement on this, see what size we are. So we're good at 7 inches inside the bark, so we'd be able to get some 6-inch clapboard out of this. We'll flip this over, completely over, and we'll get that clapboard. Now we're going to see what we can get out of this. So it looks like we'll take it that thin slab off the top. So that was at 9 inches. So what we're going to end up doing is taking another inch board, or fence board, off there. Just because we need, some people might say, okay, it's a waste, whatever, but not for us. We use it, like I said, for fencing, so still getting used. So now we're at 8 inches thick on that cant. So we're going to flip it up one more time. We're going to take the 6 inches wide across here. So we're left with a 6 by 8 inch cant. Then we'll flip it up and we'll just take 1/2 inch clapboard off that 6 inches wide all the way down to the bottom of the 8 inches. So. Take a measurement, see where we are. 10 inches to the edge of the bark. 10 inches. I'm going to call that good. We go to 11 inches here now, then we're going to take that slab off the top and we'll end up with a nice fence board to go over the other side. So now we're ended up with a nice edge, little tiny bit of bark on here, but that's not going to hurt. That'll come right off with the clapboard, the first one. So. some people might cut this a little different, like quarter sawn and all that fancy stuff, but not into fancy. Just into getting it sawed and over with. So we're going to end up taking this down now to 6 inches up here. That way then that's going to be a 6 by 8 thickness cant. We'll flip it up one more time and then just slice off all the little 1/2 inch clapboards. There you go, that's 6 inches by 8 inch. So we'll flip it up one more time and then we'll just keep taking 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, all the way down to probably a 2 by 6. See how it goes. So, and you notice a little bit of rind here and a little bit of rind there we put on the bottom, because the reason why we did that is because that's going to be the thick part, so that's going to be like a 2 by 6 or something on the bottom, so that's why that's like that. So there, down to 1.5 inches. We're just going to take a 1/2 inch off this. That way then it's it'll be a regular 2x6, what they call a 2x6. So there you have it. That's sawing that on the mill. That one log is the first log, so we're left with the 2x6. So yeah, that's how it works. The little guard on this worked pretty good. Pile all the sawdust up right there in a nice little pile so we can discard of that. But all the little pieces, as well as this little strip we cut off the 2x6, all that will be get cut. That's actually the pieces we use to go between the piles of layers of lumber on the pallet. So that's how we run the mill. So stay tuned, and we'll have lots more videos of that stuff for sure, because we do have a lot of lumber that we need to get sawed this year. We're building a new barn, so here outside the mill we got our piles of lumber. We made pallets here looking like this so we can get in under them with straps. We put the stickers in between to separate it so it dries out a bit half decent. So we can just strap the bundle and then lift it out with the forks on the tractor. So that's how we just build the skid, and then the skid can stay right there and we can repack it full again. We can store the lumber into a shed we'll be building over in the far end of the mill here. So all the pallets for separating the 2x4, 2x6, these are battens actually. These little ones are 3/4 by 3.5. These are the battens for the buildings we're building around here. So, and then over here by the log bed, we have the one for the clapboard. So this is the clapboard that we milled here, 1/2 inch thick, that's all. I do have the attachment on the mill for sawing the proper clapboard that's tapered on one side like the old-fashioned clapboard. Haven't even used it really. I bought it with the mill, set it up, but I haven't even used it. We just use it like this. It's a lot faster and quicker sawing it on the mill that way. Doesn't have to adjust back and forth. So just settled with just cutting it straight like that. So if you start off when you're building the building, you start off with a starter strip on the bottom, then that perfectly work fine for what we're doing clapboards on the barn, the sheds, and so on. So yeah, and log bed, I guess it's self-explanatory really. We set the logs on, bring the logs from the log pile over here, set them on the mill as we need them, and we just roll them in. And the setup we did, that we chose, was to do this. So we had somewhere we can run we're going to be putting a sliding curtain door up here so we can open the curtain. And then we put the planks in here which slide right out onto the deck of the mill. That way then you can just easily roll it right onto the mill. So solve a lot of struggling, lifting, and stuff like that. So made our life a whole lot easier. So that's how that works. We're gonna go in the mill shed here now. We've got some fence boards here that we need to get bundled up, so, and lift out. So come along and watch how we do this and lift it out. A little bit of a struggle trying to get it out of the crate, but we managed to fight with it and get it out. So you all already have the band out. Let's see if I can reach it. It's not all the way through. Pull back. Ourselves a clip. I need to get this one on the bottom, actually. Every time I put it in, it gets mixed up here. So we're just cranking this till it gets really tight. Sometimes this is hard to get off. Sometimes it goes pretty good like that. So. That's one. I'll get the second one on. The bands is on, we'll try to lift it out. Might be a struggle. Okay, came out pretty easy. So she's going to take that and carry it up and put it into the pile where we store them. So like and subscribe to the video. Stay tuned, there will be a lot more, and hit that little bell and get notifications with new videos being posted every week. So thanks for watching.